Am I the asshole for telling my mom she should feel like a bad mom because she is one? I'm just gonna to add here I'm going to talk about periods, so if that's bothersome I'd suggest you not read. I, F18, have 3 siblings, 17 male, 15 female, 14 female. My mom has never been involved in our lives. She was around sometimes, and when my dad passed 5 years ago, she was almost unbothered and continued to live her life. A year later, she married an old friend of my dad's. Together, they went on all sorts of trips, made plans with just them, and my siblings and I were at my grandparents' house almost every day. The few times my mom cared to be around us was when she wanted to take family pictures to post online. Because of my mom being absent, my sisters relied on me to teach them about their periods, and I gave them the talk as well. I've been discussed those things nearly 2-3 years ago and did my best to explain everything I knew at 16, and it seemed to have done the job. Since quarantine, my mom has been forced to stay at home and she pouted about it the first few months. Around July last year, she found out my youngest sister was having periods and she got annoyed she wasn't the first to know. My sister has been having them for over 2 years. Lately, my mom has been trying to talk to my sisters and offer them motherly advice, as she calls it. She's had no success but still pushes it almost daily. Last night my sister was having a really off day and went to bed earlier than normal. My mom kept bothering her and telling her it was too early to sleep. It was 9 p.m., and my sister blew up at her and told her to basically piss off. She came downstairs where my brother and I were at, and she started going on how she blamed my dad for making us choose him as the favorite parent, and if it weren't for him she'd have a better relationship with us. That much ticked me off, cause she chose to live some child-free lifestyle rather than be around us. She kept going how she missed so many milestones in our lives, like my sisters getting their first period or my brother getting his first GF. Not once did she try to acknowledge she was the main reason she missed those things. Here's where I feel like an asshole. I blew up at her, completely lost it. I told her she needed not to blame my dead dad, and if she wanted to know the real reason she missed out, she should look in the mirror. She started crying and said I'm making her look like a bad mother. I ended it with she should feel like a bad mother because she is one. I've since felt awful for what I said, and I think I might have been too hard on her. Am I the asshole? Edit. Just want to say thank you to everyone for the comments and rewards. I did end up apologizing to her for being harsh, but told her I meant what I said. There were a couple of comments that I can't find, but if I need to add more details, do tell. Not the asshole, you didn't make her look like a bad mother, she did. Not the asshole. You were harsh, but it sounds true. She didn't know one of her daughters had already had her periods for 2 years. If she really wants to take steps to repair relationships, the first step is to apologize, the second is to take steps to change, and the third is likely therapy. She'd also have to understand that simply saying you're a family again doesn't mean everything is fixed. Sorry for everything you've gone through. Sounds like you've been a stellar big sister though. Not the asshole. Your mother seems to have confused you and your siblings with dolls, and thought that she could basically ignore you for years and that you'd still be waiting in the toy box when she decided that she wanted to play with you again. Not the asshole. Your mother doesn't even deserve the title. You and your grandparents have had to fill the void because she wanted to live without the burden of her own children. Her tears are not your fault or your problem. Just because someone cries doesn't make them a victim. I'm sorry you didn't get the mother you deserve. Not the asshole, you told her the truth. She is an absent mother, of course she's a bad mother. Don't feel bad for telling her that. Not the asshole. Your mother neglected you and believed her own social media hype about you being a happy family. She doesn't get to have a relationship with you that's meaningful unless she takes a hard look at herself and changes. Not the asshole. Your words were hard but deserved. She has a moral and legal obligation to take care of you all as you are minors, and she didn't really care about that. Not the asshole. Your mother wouldn't even know any of this happened if it wasn't for being forced to stay home because of COVID. You said nothing wrong. She sounds like a really selfish person, and I'm so sorry you've been neglected all these years. Not the asshole. Truth hurts. Not the asshole. Sounds like she's been more of an egg donor than a mother. Not the asshole. She has set herself up for a lifetime of surprised Pikachu.jpg situations. The only one to blame is her. Not the asshole, and I live for this level of cutthroat honesty. I'd hug you and buy you lunch for your awesomeness if we were in close proximity. Not the asshole. It's not even valid to blame your father. Like, it doesn't even make sense since he passed away 5 years ago. All the major milestones happened after that. If she wanted to be present, she would have. Quarantine showed her she was a crappy mom and she couldn't come to terms with it. So instead of trying to build a proper relationship and getting to know her children, she's giving unsolicited advice. She was searching for validation of her feeling but couldn't find it because there was none. In my opinion, she got what she deserved. Hopefully she improves. Not the asshole. She is a bad mother. She should be made aware of this before she tries to throw a pity party. Not the asshole. It was harsh but deserved. Not the asshole. You did not even stoop to insults or name-calling, just the facts. She is the one that checked herself out of the family, not you. She is most likely looking for any excuse for her behavior that places her in a better light. It was harsh but needed. Just make sure you and your siblings are safe in case she tries to pull something. She is most likely going to lash out after this or try and guilt-trip you about being a cruel daughter and that she is trying so hard. Just keep being a good sister to your siblings and hold your ground. Maybe one day you can work it out through therapy if that's an option for you. So much not the asshole. And you were not too hard on her. How did she expect to be the first to know about anything when she wasn't there? That's on her. You may want to look at the sub-R, raised by narcissists. If she's truly interested in becoming a better mother, she should be in individual therapy and family therapy. Not the asshole, very much not the asshole. You can't make someone look like a bad mother. She's a neglectful and self-centered woman who is barely a mother. She wouldn't feel badly about herself if she didn't know that she deserves it. Her attempts to seek validation from you backfired, as it should. Good for you for being such an awesome big sister and also for being honest to your mother when she pushed too far. Not the asshole. The truth hurts and you gave it to her. Simple as that. Not the asshole. I wouldn't say she's a bad mother. Bad implies she did something. She was an absent mother, which in my opinion is worse. Not the asshole. The only reason you feel awful because, unlike your mother, you have empathy and feel bad for having to say that to her. Probably not that you said it. Harsh but not untrue. Not the asshole. Info. Sorry to pry, but how did he die? Was it his fault? Why is your mum blaming him? She blamed my dad for making us choose him as the favorite parent, and if it weren't for him she'd have a better relationship with us. What? He was dead, how could he force you to do anything? She kept going how she missed so many milestones in our lives, like my sisters getting their first period or my brother getting his first GF. But your sisters were 11-9 when your dad died, how could it be his fault? If you want to have a relationship with your mum, I suggest therapy. Not the asshole. If you don't tell her, how else is she going to realize? Not the asshole. Your mum sounds like a narcissist, and for that, I'm sorry. You sound like an amazing sister and I'm sorry that you were forced to grow up so quickly. However, your siblings are incredibly lucky to have you and ensure you all will have one of the best relationships for it. Hands clapping, 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 hands clapping. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. But you are a very good sister. Don't feel bad about what you said. It seems to be the truth. Don't let her rewrite history. Not the asshole. Well, yeah. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I have a no-contact mother who admittedly has done much worse than what you're describing, but to this day she has no idea of why her only child hates her despite me, her parents, her 4+ ex-husbands, the wives of all the married DME she slept with and a fucking priest she tried to sleep with, telling her in no uncertain terms LMAO. Sorry to say, yours will probably just find an excuse to make it not her fault again. Narcissists are like that. Not the asshole. You were completely right, she just doesn't want to hear the truth and accept responsibility. Not only are you not the asshole, you're an amazing big sister. I'm sorry that you've had to step into a parental role, but know that you're doing a fantastic job. You've given your sisters the knowledge and support they needed, and they're clearly comfortable talking to you. Not the asshole. You were honest with her and sometimes the truth hurts, but she's made this mess and now she has to deal with it. Not the asshole. You told her what she needed to hear, she chose to act like a child-free person and neglected her children. If it weren't for your father, I'd know my own daughters are having periods 3 years after he died. She a dumby. Not the asshole. She neglected you and your siblings, of course she is a bad mother. She's the one who should be feeling guilty, not you. Not the asshole your mother has her head so far up her own ass that she can't even acknowledge the fact that she is the problem. She didn't even know her youngest daughter had her period until 2 years later. That itself says a lot on how much she was involved in your lives. She doesn't have the right to all of a sudden be a mother just because now it's convenient for her. Not the asshole you are not emotionally responsible for her feelings. You are not responsible of making her feel loved, or accomplished. You are not there to support her. She as the parent is the one with the responsibility. And it looks like she failed. Assholes don't get to make it about themselves and their pain when they are called out on their shitty actions. Not the asshole she does sound like a bad mother. And I say this as a mother myself. She doesn't get to cry now and play victim. Not the asshole. You called it like it is. Don't feel bad because she cries. She made you more of a parent to your siblings than she has been. If she was a good mom she would have been more active in all of your lives. Not the asshole. It was harsh because it's true. Traveling the world and expecting her parents to care for her children. Not cool, doubly so for only giving him attention for family photos. I don't know why she expected any different. Definitely not the asshole. Your mother wanted to live a kid-free life, and suddenly she feels like being a mother so she expects everything to just have been put on hold until she wanted it. Your grandparents and yourself were in it together. You have no reason to feel guilty for making her acknowledge the truth. I wish you and your siblings the best of luck. Not the asshole. NTA. Truth hurts but it needs to be said. Not the asshole for telling the truth. She didn't know when her daughter started her period. She's missed out because she would leave you guys. That's it. She is an absentee mother, and mother is a generous term here. Not the asshole, she's the one who made herself look like a bad mother by being a bad mother. Also, she sounds like a creep when it comes to her daughter's periods. NTA. Truth hurts. The truth hurts and your mom, in quotations, cause she's not much of a mom. Just got a big dose of the truth. Too bad it probably won't matter in the long run, but for a few minutes, she had to hear the truth. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your mother had the audacity to blame your dad who was there for you and raised you. You have every right to blow up at her. She needs to see the reality of the situation and realize that she can't play the victim. Not the asshole. The truth hurts. If anything, you don't have to worry about being like your mom, because I doubt she would feel guilty about saying what you said. You're a good person, and your siblings will remember what you've done for them.